Hi everybody, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and I had planned a little bit different video for this, but I did want to talk about the fact that this has been 10 years of me doing videos. Now, I planned kind of a celebration for this, but I've had some stuff go on in my life that hasn't been as positive lately with some extended family and friends, and it took me a little bit longer to get this video out. So everything's okay with me and my immediate family, but we did take some losses this year, unfortunately, and with that, I just didn't feel like making videos for a little bit. But now I'm back. I'm going to start making videos again. I'm going to try to get back into the swing of things, but I'm trying a couple different things now as far as some changes I'm making. One, I'm recording this for the first time on an actual camera. Oh, I'm sorry, instead of a phone, instead of my camera. I've been filming on a camera for years. It's a lot of work filming that way and moving the files around. I'm going to try using my camera that I just got, which is a Google Pixel 10 Pro XL. And I'm going to try making my videos on this because it can record 4K 60, which is what I've been recording at with my Fujifilm camera. And we'll see how this does for everyone. Let me know what you think down in the comments and how this looks, if it's clear, if I sound clear. I've got an earpiece in my ear. I'm hoping that I sound pretty clear and that this is going to work really well, but I just don't know. So let me know down in the comments how I sound. If this is too loud, too soft, I'm not going to know until you really comment as far as how this video is going. Now with that, now that I've hit 10 years, I did want to talk about some of the things that I've done as far as changes. I've gone from making videos where I was laying down on the floor, then would get up and actually work on the video because I had no way to edit. And I've gone from editing to lighting, where this is nice and bright. You can see the brightness on my hands from the lighting that I have. I have a good video camera that I've been using for many years now. I have a lot of different systems. I have a lot of knowledge that I've gained. And I hope that you have gained some knowledge by watching my videos, and I hope that you continue to join me on this journey. I never did this for the money or for fame or anything like that. I really did that to help people get into the idea of composting, whether it be with bokashi, worms, or if you're in your backyard with soldier flies or a compost pile. I hope that you're doing it. The idea was to get rid of food waste going into our landfills. And I still follow that same goal. I've been putting more stuff into my food cycler than I have been in the past. With everything going on, it's just been very busy, but at the same time, I still am trying to run my worm bins. So with that, let's take a look at these systems. I've got a few systems that I'm still running and see how they're doing, and we'll see if I can build up to get my rack of bins that I had going before as well. So let's go take a look today at our BNLink 10-gallon tote. That's a 10-gallon fiber grow bag, and see how that is doing. All right, hopefully this is recording pretty well. And let's go ahead and take our top off here. There's a little bit of moisture on the top. Oh, we've got a lot of babies on here. Wow, I'm not sure how well this is going to come in on the camera here, but there's a lot of babies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think. I think I count 8 babies on here. So wow, a lot of baby worms on this system right here. So that's a really good sign. Maybe even 9. Maybe there might be another one right there, it looks like. So possibly 9 baby African night crawlers in this system on the top here. Now with that, you can see right here, the outside is completely dry. It's really dried out here, and the center is still moist. So this has been good as far as keeping that moisture in. And again, let me lift this up real quick and show you. I do have my grate here, and you can see there's moisture underneath on the grate as well. So that this allows it to sort of let some air in through the bottom to make sure that there's a good amount of moisture content, but at the same time, it doesn't get overly moist where it starts rotting in the bottom, which I was having an issue with before. So as you can see though, even more babies. Look at that, we get some more small worms in here. So I wonder if actually this might have been good, leaving them for a little bit. They might have kind of multiplied, worrying about, you know, hey, are we going to be able to survive? Is it going to dry out? Oh, here we go. Here's a fairly large juvenile. There's our first large juvenile we've got here. It looks nice and healthy. It was just thrashing around like crazy. Got another one over here. So this is great. We've got a system here that might be multiplying in numbers. Now, if you do, there's another couple worms over here. If you do see any cocoons while I'm doing this, please mark them down. I don't know what the cocoons look like, but I've really never seen any for the African night crawlers. You got another one over there. Another one over here. So lots of babies in this system. This is fantastic. As I said though, you can see that one's just whipping around like crazy. I've never seen any cocoons in here. So I don't think they have the bright yellow cocoons. I think they're a darker color. These babies are really whipping around. They almost remind me of jumping worms almost a little bit. Hopefully these are still African night crawlers and they didn't get swapped out with jumping worms at some point. but I'm not seeing any real large ones in here. But this system is doing pretty well. Again, lots of babies, more juveniles. The big ones seem to not be in here anymore, but you know that can happen to a system sometimes. But these young ones are moving around pretty good. They're used to this system. They're used to this food. Got some of our charcoal in here as well. I'm going to break that in half. Yep, because still break that stuff in half. This is just going to aerate the system a little bit. We've got a lot of, as you can see, this stuff on the side, though, is all dried out. This is not food for them anymore. It's way too dry. Oh, we got a pill bug in here. Look at this. Oops. Where'd he go? And a couple of fruit flies in here as well. So this is where my fruit flies must be coming from, is this system right here. But which happens when you don't have mesh over them. You know, we get lots of bananas and stuff in the house, and you know that stuff just breeds fruit flies to begin with, and then they kind of make their way down here. I'm not too worried about it. I don't actually have any mix ready to go. This material though is looking pretty good on the bottom here. Hopefully you can see that. So he's got a couple baby worms in there, or almost juveniles. So this stuff is working pretty well. I'm pretty impressed. It seems to be doing well. It's got a big stick of charcoal in here. I am going to have to probably add some more of that at some point. I do have more ready to go, but I'm not going to add it today. But with that, we're going to go ahead and dig into the center here, as I've done every single time. And we're going to go ahead and add, and I see a fruit fly over there. We're going to go ahead and add our food cycler leftovers here. So we're going to add a whole bunch of this time again. We're going to add right to the center there, just like that. And we're going to go ahead and spray this down to get it wet. So let me grab my hose. That's right, this is my sprayer. This is the hose. This is the sprayer. We're just going to wet this down, and we're going to make sure this gets really damp before we close it up and cover it up like we have. And we can actually mix this in with some of the bedding here, kind of get it all wet. This is going to be great food for the worms. And, you know, oh, that sounds like it's starting to run low on water, too. I haven't really done a lot of stuff. I haven't done a lot of watering in here. I haven't done a lot of stuff in general. So hopefully this is going to be okay. All right, it sounds like it's starting to run out of water in there, but this looks like it's pretty good. This is almost like a thick mud. I'm going to just clean off my gloves. It's getting faster and faster there. All right, we're going to just go ahead and stop that. All right. Now, what I need to do here is cover this up. You got to make sure you cover this stuff up when you do this. And I'm going to want to spray this top down again, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover that up, and to kind of keep the fruit flies out, I don't really have a lot of water. Actually, I do have some water over here. Hold on a second here. This will be some good water. Just give me a second here. I just need a container to put it in that's empty. So this water right here is from a fish tank. My son's fish tank. We cleaned it out just recently. There we go. Some nice water on the top there. Actually, maybe one more. This is pretty dry. Sorry if you can hear my dog. But there we go. Nice and watered really well. Now what I'm going to do is add some bedding. Oh, hopefully that didn't knock my camera. We're going to add some dry bedding on top here. The bedding on top is going to act as sort of a barrier for some of the fruit flies or fungus gnats or whatever they are. And then also at the same time, it's going to absorb any excess moisture that kind of evaporates to the surface. So when that evaporation happens, it'll just sort of go into here. All right, there we go. So I'm going to take this glove off now. And that is our update on our 10-gallon. Ooh, actually, you know, I didn't think about it. There's a whole bunch of worms on here that are going to have to go down through that. Maybe I'll put a little bit of water on top here and just, actually, you know, it's gonna evaporate up through there. They'll make it down, I think. They'll be fine. We'll just say they're going to be fine. I think they will be, but what's going to happen is all that moisture is going to come into the center. It's going to evaporate, hit the center. They'll move back down through the center section, and they should be fine. So with that, that is my update for our 10-gallon grow bag from BNLink. I have to say, this has worked pretty well for these African night crawlers. It's been sort of shocking. I wasn't sure how well this would work. It did need a little bit of work as it was starting to smell on the bottom. That's why we had to have this here. And as you can see, there's water already leaking out over to the side here. So you need to have one of these in here to really kind of keep it, you know, from becoming kind of a smelly mess on the bottom. So just having that little bit of elevation, I mean, there's maybe, I'm looking at, it's maybe 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch, maybe 1/4 inch on the one side, 1/8 of an inch on the other, just to kind of let some air flow in through the bottom so that way you don't get that soggy mess that really will smell. So with that, this is working pretty good. I will try to make another video really soon on my urban worm bags and my vermi bags, but this is my start for trying to get back into this. I'm really trying to get back into making videos and just this entire process in general. So first off, again, let me know what you think. I'm recording this for the first time on my phone and not on my camera. And I don't know if this will be good or bad. I know that my camera is a pretty decent quality camera. As you can see, I'm going to show it right here. This is the camera that I was using before. It is a Fujifilm X-T4. So it's pretty good, but it's just a lot of work to maneuver this around and everything. And a little bit easier with my phone. And I think the phone now might take higher quality video in some cases. You know, not with the sensor necessarily, but with the fact that it's a little bit more adjustable in some cases because I just don't have all this stuff for the camera. So again, let me know how the audio quality is. Let me know how the picture quality looks comparatively. It might look the same, might look better, might look worse. Just let me know down in the comments. And, you know, again, this is 10 years. Thank you everyone who's been watching for so long. And thank you for everyone that's new that's watching or people that aren't watching anymore that aren't seeing this. I still want to thank them for showing up at some point while, you know, learning about this hobby. So again, thank you everyone. And I hope to see you soon in the next video.